But does anyone else want to make a fool of themselves?
Somebody else must have a story. Besides Steve.
Well, I was going to say a few words about my brother and sister and growing up.
That's okay.
You sure it's not about you?
Yeah, it's really about me. So, Elliot, when he was very, very young, embarrassed himself terribly in a way. I'm not even going to describe it to you.
I remember that.
He's
But
a painter. He's a
you know what I mean. And
Barbara wrote a haiku about it.
Barbara wrote a haiku about it. And Barbara and I, when we were very young, actually got drunk together on sherry. Do you remember that?
Eggnog.
Eggnog. And it was, Mom and Dad were sleeping late on a Sunday morning. We went downstairs, and I think my father had bought sherry or eggnog, and he said it was good for you. So Barbara and I proceeded to drink vast amounts of it on a Sunday morning when our parents were sleeping. And when they came down, I think we were both tipsy.
What time of the day was
So
this?
you wrote a song about it.
No, wait a minute.
About 6 in the morning.
Now, I'm not going to talk about this.
No, I hope you have been drinking since
I'm not even going to
75.
talk about this. I'm not even going to talk about the time our father shot a car with his pistol. And I'm not even going to talk about the time that our mother, when I was 12 years old, ordered a birthday cake on the telephone from the baker. And when it arrived, and he said, "What do you want it to say?" And she said, "I wanted to say, 'Happy birthday, Steve,' going around the circumference." So when the cake arrived, it says, "Happy birthday, Steve," going around. Now, if you think that there's a common thread in all of these stories, I challenge you to determine what the thread is. We are all nuts, but we're relatives. And Celia's father, Saul Paul, a wonderful man, used to say, and I think he said it pretty often because I remember it. He said, "You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your relatives."
Your father said that.
My father said that. A lot of people said that. So
That was a famous quote.
I want you to know that we have chosen you as our relatives, your relatives by choice,
Nice.
and not by desperation.
You felt really good about that.
Yeah. So now, I just have a few words of wisdom to pass on to the younger
I think that's
generation.
important.
We
Want
Why don't you
wisdom,
ask
eh?
me what you'd like to know about life?
I think we covered most of it.
Oh.
We've covered
It's,
it.
it's Karnak the Magnificent.
Okay, so
I'd leave it.
Yeah, good.
Just go with it.
this is your takeaway from today. So
Don't grow old.
don't grow old. That's one. Yeah.
Can I interrupt?
Please do.
Well, because I'm watching Steve, who is, except I understand by a very short distance, the eldest among us. And, there's a nice age range here to Neil and to Yasha. Neil younger than you?
Yes.
No, Neil.
Neil's younger.
That's what I said.
We're pretty close.
Age range to Neil.
Yeah.
To the youngest.
Compared to everyone else, we're pretty close.
Yasha is included as a young person. There are young middle-aged people here. There are older middle-aged people here. But I'm thinking that watching you turn 80 is like the luckiest way of envisioning one's future. Because, who you are is at 80 is a man, full of life, full of energy, full of love. 80 looks pretty good from here.
That's what Florida started.
Thank you. So here, here's what I would like to say to you, Yasha. Each of us is made up of 3 parts. The part of us that's our mother, the part of us that's our father, and the part of us that's neither. And I think my journey has been to accept the part of of myself that's my mother, the part of myself that's my father, and the part of myself that was neither my mother nor my father. I don't know what the size of each of those pieces are, but they're all important, and I think it might be useful for you if you think about that and how going forward and what it means to you. The other thing I want to say to you is that in our 20s we wonder and worry about what people say and think about us. In our 40s, we don't care.
It's cute, right?
In our 60s, we discover they have not been talking or thinking about us at all. And by the time we're 80, we can't hear what they're saying.
Anyway.
Okay.
Wise words. Wise words.
Okay.
Quiet.
I have one more song, but I'm not going to sing it because my wife is. Now we have some presents. We have some presents. Yeah. Hold on a second. We want to get.